Ew. Hey, Kings and Dragons, Dragon King 551, and we're back with Michigan football. This is week four, obviously. Let's go into some stuff here. Let's talk about it, and then we'll go into the stat line. We'll talk about everything else. Raiola, pardon me, I pronounced his name wrong. Raiola. Raiola just stands there. You have legs, use them. And he did not play great, in my opinion. Neither quarterback was setting it on fire in this game. Seven sacks on the defense. Michigan was playing well, so there was um, definitely had some discipline there, but definitely have to clean up some stuff. How do you allow something like that to happen? The Hail Mary I'm talking about. There's no discipline. It goes back to the room and everything else that goes on and off the field. Step up. The other thing that is my pet peeve is that teams need to keep it quiet on what they're good at because it seems anytime they bring up a stat like this, Michigan always finds a way to shell shock them. It happened versus Penn State in 22. They said that they were great defense versus the run, and they got obliterated with 400 rushing yards. The same thing happened to Nebraska with over close to 300 rushing yards when Nebraska was one of the best versus the run. Stop running your mouth and stop talking about a certain stat that you're good in because it seems that teams know how to exploit that, and it just showed yesterday as well, or whatever. Uh, Number six, Hillman. He ticks me off. If that taunting penalty doesn't happen, Michigan wins the game 34 to 37. 34 to 37 to 20. Sorry, I said 34 to 37. I said 34 or 37 to 20. That Hail Mary at the end of the half also, I don't think would have been accounted for. So it should have been 37 to 20 or 37 to 17 going into the fourth quarter, and we should have been up and dominating the whole game in a blowout of 20 points or more. Obviously, it was only a 3-point spread. The bettors were right, so that's that. Um, this completely changes the momentum of the game. We should have been winning by double digits, not by one scores. However, there are other things I like to move on to and talk about. Ultimately, there was some good discipline in the beginning. In their fourth and two, they don't get it and stuff. They go for it on Nebraska and they don't get it. Then they miss a field goal, and then we're able to go down the field, go score a field goal of our own. Then we get another after the interception by the score of Bryce Underwood with his legs. So he scores and makes it 10-0. Um, and then capitalize towards the end of the half with an incredible run by Haynes, and he does great. And then come out of the half, get another field goal, and then get a stop. Then you come out, gain again with Jordan Marshall. He runs down the field and gets a 54-yard touchdown. So both running backs were doing incredible things. Um, some of the throwing is not on Underwood, it's on the receivers where they are dropping the ball and they need to work on it a little bit better and stuff. I'm not going to say Underwood's passing is bad. There was one to McCulley where he caught the ball and it was a great catch, but he just couldn't get his feet down in bounds and he couldn't get his one foot down and he dragged it on the out of bounds sideline. So that was incredibly bad. You need to improve with the throwing and just catching. I don't think our receivers are bad. It will come when it matters most. And I do believe that the throwing will matter most. But see, the running game was just working so well yesterday that we didn't really need to throw for a lot of yardage and stuff. And then we used Bryce Underwood for some things. Uh, and this is my final thoughts, not my words. I saw this on Instagram, but I do agree. For anyone questioning Michigan after this game, remember they beat a 3-9 Nebraska by three, won the conference, beat Ohio State, and made the college football playoff and won the Big Ten championship. That was in 2021, and you still got to believe in your team and stuff because I remember in 23 they played Maryland and they won 31 to 24. Then they played Ohio State the week after and they only won by 6, 30 to 24. And ultimately, yeah, they're close games, but it doesn't matter so much because the team knew how to play discipline throughout most of the game and they won those games and stuff. And then you have the 2024 season where Michigan again was able to play discipline and they won 13 to 10 and was able to dominate down the in the trenches and win against Ohio State. So I'm not too worried winning 30 to 27 and stuff. We've won close games, we've won in blowouts. It doesn't really matter to me as long as it's a win in the win column and everything else. And Nebraska is always a tough place to play. A win is a win. If anything, it shows that a young team offensively was able to overcome adversity in the thick of it. And Moore is back versus Wisconsin. So, I think that with that discipline, everything's going to be better. We'll see if Chip Lindsey and Moore butt heads again or something because it seemed like there was a lot of confusion. With that being said, let's go into the stat line. Let's go into the highlights. And I'm going to just show a couple of things here with the stat line. So first off, let's start with Michigan. You got Bryce Underwood, who only has 105. They said, like that. I don't the emotion. And then Morgan tried going for a trick play. I forgot about that weird trick play. He just threw it a little too low, but he really didn't have his feet set, and he just didn't have enough time when he ran out there. Now, if that play could have been successful, I mean, we would have been up 14 to 10 potentially. It would have been 21-17 going into halftime. And there are a lot of wishful thinkings here. Then would have been 24. Then we come out now it's 30, now it's 31-17, kick another field goal, make it 34, and then it probably would have been something along the lines of that. But I digress. Anyway, you got Jordan Marshall with only 80 rushing yards, but he was dominant. Then you got Bryce Underwood, who had 61 yards and a touchdown himself, and you got Haynes with 149 yards. So those are your three good players there. And then let's talk about the Cornhuskers here. You got Raiola with three touchdowns, but he threw an interception and he had 7 sacks on him and stuff. And they say he's okay and stuff. I was like, no, he's not. That's a shit stat to have 7 sacks on you. Your offensive line is terrible and stuff. You're not telling me that he's good and stuff by doing that. Now, possession time was with them, but ultimately that's not entirely bad because the ground assault, the ground is what dominates a game. It weakens the defense and it opens up the pass. The pass opens up the run, vice versa. However, 391 yards, 351. We dominated more, about 40 yards more. 105 passing yards, 308 for them. So our passing defense needs to wake up a little bit more, but rushing yards, 286 versus 43, 16 first downs versus 23, 4 penalties versus 3, 1 turnover each, 1 sack allowed versus 7, and 56 versus 72. Now, the player Hillman went like this to celebrate on the sideline, and I guess they didn't like that, and they gave him the taunting penalty. But that's neither here or there. Okay, now this is the Google stats. Obviously, you see 7 yards per play, so we were more dominant. We were able to get 2 yards more per play, which means that it's better for us. And the defense gets tired when you are running the ball because you got to battle in the trenches, where passing is not so tiresome. 16 versus downs versus 23, 4 for 12, 2 for 13, fourth down efficiency 0, 2 for 3 for them. Total plays 56 versus 72, 4 punts each, 4 penalties versus 3, 1 fumble loss, 1 interception thrown, and the time of possession. Now, the other thing here is Wink Martindale is playing young guys. I think that is trying to get them some experience in these earlier games and stuff. But I also think that when they get to play Little Brother and Big Ohio State and these later games down the season, they're going to improve exponentially and they're going to play better. And Wisconsin has to come to Michigan. We don't have to go to Madison. So if we went to Madison, it was going to be a tougher thing. But thank gosh we went to they're coming to us, so we get one on the home, and then we got to go play at UNC, which is not an easy place to play. I said not a tough place, pardon me, not an easy place to play. It's in the Coliseum. It's a tough place and everything. And now we go down the field and we kick off, and Nebraska will not take it. So 2-1 versus 3-0. Obviously, after this game, we'll move to 3-1. Oh, a big run outside. Boom! Big hit there. Nebraska back to throw. Looks, steps up, running out. He's trying to be Mahomey, and he gets it to his guy. But see, he's like a chicken without his head. I mean, running around, not believing in it, and then he just stands there on some of these. Here it is, 4th and 2. They're gonna go for it. Shovel pass. No, good discipline and says, not happening. You're short. Then Michigan has to punt, and we're gonna see where this goes. He's gonna try to catch it. Oof, and that takes an unfriendly bounce. And friendly for Nebraska, unfriendly for Michigan. 3rd and 7. Back to throw. And this is where the sack happens. You see Barheim and everyone, and he just kind of sacks himself. No one really sacks him. He just kind of trips over his own offensive lineman and everything. Oh my God, get these ads off my screen. Um, Thank you. So they missed the field goal. They're not going to show that. Morgan outside. He's got blazing speed. Woo! Yeah, Bryce Underwood with a nice throw there, and he gets it right to Morgan. Here comes the field goal. 46 yards. It's up. It's good. Oh man, and now Raiola looking. Fires, tipped, picked, intercepted. Look what I found. Yes. Now, you see Bryce Underwood? He's in shotgun. Everyone thinks he's gonna pass. No, he's running it himself. Excuse me, pardon me. I got blazing speed. I'm gonna take it to the house. Touchdown, Michigan. Eat the corn. Obviously, he doesn't do that, but yeah, see that motion, and then you're just gonna see a hole open up, and everyone thinks it's gonna be a pass, and everyone is just motioning left. Let's go back on that one. So what you're gonna see here is that you got you got at least like 4 or 5 guys in the box. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So what happens is that people are going to shift over. And when you're having people shift over and stuff, and you're going to have them shift, the the hole opens up for Michigan on the right side here. So these guys all start shifting left, and then the right side opens up, and he's just able to get there because everyone shifts, and there's a big hole down the field. And, you're just going to see that big hole open up. So then a guy shifts down, and he's on the left side or right side, and that hole just opens up, and everyone is shifting, and you have motion with Marshall, and Marshall just makes it an easy play there. You see the motion on the back side and see Marshall moves, and then you see the guys from this angle, and everyone is just moving left and right, and there's no one back there to help out, and Bryce Underwood is able to get a touchdown. Back to throw, and he's sacked again. This guy is so bad. Like, he just sits there and doesn't even see it. Underwood in trouble, and here's the fumble. Yeah, he just gets the ball stripped from him, and that was just you gotta hold like this. You gotta hold the ball like that with your arms like this, not out like tuck it. He's in trouble. Oh man, and see you don't. He tried going for the waist, and that's gonna cost him. He needs to go down lower by his legs, not up high. People need to have discipline. Always tackle low. Here he goes, and he is sacked again. This man is taking a beating. That's got to be at least like 3 or 4 already, and it's good. 10-3. And they played well. They played well. Michigan, look out, sacked. Oof. And number 53, that's on him and everything. And he made a stupid mistake there. Gives off a little screen, and we fell. That was not good. You know, just got to play a little bit better. I didn't like that fall, but it happens, and I mean, it. Oh, and he's up. Oh man, and he spins out of it. Get this man on the ground. Whew. He's at the 36, I think. Something like that. And now 3rd and 8, back to throw, fires, and he's got it. Terrible zone coverage there, and nobody knows where he's going. The defense is just, yeah, see, look, number 20 is there. He goes over to help, and that's just stupid. And you see one of our other guys, number 7, I think that was, he just drops down, and that was just a bad defense there. Haynes has got a late. Haynes has got speed. He's gone. Woo! This is the beautiful play. You see a hole, and he's got it. He's been doing that all season long and everything else. He has 100 rushing in 4 games. I think that you should put him in Heisman conversation right about now and stuff. And you're just going to see the blocking, and you're going to see beautiful there. Boom, bounces back, gets a good block, and you're going to see him score right to the end zone and everything. You're gonna go right there, and you're gonna make a play. Rayola looking, fires, and he's got it. Good first down. I can't complain with that. Uh, here comes the blitz. Oh yeah, and that's just gonna happen because what happens here is we got one on here on the edge, two, three, four, and five. And then you got also Stewart coming off the edge. So you can't block all of them. And Stewart comes off the edge, and he's going to come this way and try getting Rayola right here. But he misses the tackle. But what happens is number 30 right here, he shoots through the gap and is able to take him down because another player is able to come there. There's multiple players, and when there's multiple players, you're not going to be able to get the ball off. And you see multiple players coming in. Stewart misses, but then number 30 is able to come down. He's able to slam him and get there. So I like it. 1 second, this is the Hail Mary. I don't understand how this happened, but you got a four-man rush. You should have only brought like two guys, get everyone back in coverage. And then, you don't bat it down and, you should have just pushed him out and stuff before he could reach back, and he gets it, and that's unbelievable. And just a bad Hail Mary here. Nobody for Michigan, obviously not Nebraska. This is a pretty good shot, but you can't do that. And he gets it, and number 4 should have been jumping in front, and he didn't move over fast enough. And I mean, it's in. And I don't know why they keep showing it. I think they're just trying to see where he caught it and everything. They're saying maybe his elbow hit, but I don't think so. And I don't really think that his elbow hit. All right, now Underwood in trouble, gives it off to Haynes, and Haynes gets brought down. That was just a terrible play there. Not really good, and it just didn't work. Now this is the 8 minutes left. Gives it off to Haynes, and Haynes gets obliterated again. And that guy, get the hell out of here. That's a taunting penalty. You're gone. What the hell? 56 yards for Zavada. He's been struggling, but this one he's not. It's good. Make it 20-17. Then we get a stop. I think this is the stop. He gets sacked again or something outrageous, I think. Looking back. Taking too much time, man. You got to get rid of the ball faster. And he just gets ripped down again by the defense. Gives it off to Marshall. Marshall's now my turn. I'm off to the races. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm just going to run right here. Take a touchdown. Thank you. Woo! And that is eat the corn, Marshall. And again, just good blocking. You see those two guys come up front, gets a good double team, then gets the next guy, and Marshall's able to get there, and he's able to do it. Now, I don't think they're going to throw or show the Macaulay catch, but we'll see if they do. And then screen, bounces off, and then his old player hits him. He sacks himself, tackles himself. That's hilarious. Oh, man. 3rd and 14. Rayola looking back, fires. Boom! Blown up in the backfield. Sit down. Not happening today. And now they get it on set. This was the taunting penalty, though. That's what happened. He gets sacked, and, that's good. But the taunting penalty by Hillman is what moved them all the way up here, and it shouldn't have happened. And that needs to be reevaluated in practice. And I think that Sherrone Moore is going to have something to say. 20-27. Here we go. Boom! Barham just slamming people to the ground. I think he's better on the edge than he is as a middle linebacker, so they may just start putting him on the edge more. But again, you don't know where he's going to go. And then, no, not happening. Oh, man, and other players come in. Martindale knows what he's doing, and there's a hole, and boom! Get off me! Don't try to tackle me up high. I will bounce off you and take a first down. Underwood looking. He's in trouble. Underwood firing to his screen. Everyone thinks it's blown up. No, he misses a tackle, and he's got it. Haynes moving down the field. Woof! That man is strong. That man is powerful. Gives it off to Haynes again. Haynes has got a lane. He's got a big lane. He's got a hole. I thought he was going to score another touchdown here, and I thought he was going to go gone, but he doesn't. And then you have 262 rushing yards. Bryce Underwood going to try to run it, and he's not going to run it and everything. And then you got Bryce Underwood back to throw. He's going to run it again. He's got a lane. He's trying to get the first. He's got the first. And then we couldn't get, he said, get the field goal unit out because they were trying to milk the clock here. This is where trying to keep Raiola off the field, trying to keep Michigan Wolverines in the game. And, keep them there, get it, make it a 10-point lead. Now Raiola back to throw, looking, sidesteps, gets a guy, and he's short by 1 yard. And then you got the 2-minute warning, 4th and 1. So now you got the 4th and 1 here. You got the 4th and 1, and then you got it, and you're just going to see stop, 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 stop with the run. And everything else you're going to see there, and then you're going to see it all the way down. Boom! Big hit there. Big hit. Oh, there's a flag. Wonderful. I think they said targeting potentially, but it wasn't targeting, so that's fine. And then you're going to see a touchdown. Oh my goodness. And now it's 1 minute and 34 seconds. So then they're going to have to run it a little bit. And here we go with instant replay once more. And you're just going to see instant replay there. And you're going to see instant replay. And you're going to see it, see it, see it, see it. And that's the game. Michigan Wolverines win 30-27. And that is the game. Until next time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. See you in the next one. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, the Michigan Wolverines win against Wisconsin in the Big House before they go on the road to play in the Coliseum. I call it the Gladiators. Obviously, they are the Trojans, but it would be a good name. So that's all I got for you. I'll see you in the next one. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button.